100 years of brilliance, 100 years of erasure, 30 days to reclaim our legacy. This is Black Women Who Built America.
Hey family, welcome back to the series. Today's story, we're talking about Alice Augusta Ball, a 23-year-old Black woman who cured one of the deadliest diseases in the world and then mysteriously died right before she could tell anybody about it. And you already know what happened next. The white man swooped in, slapped his name on her work, and called it his own. Alice solved a problem that stumped scientists for centuries. She gave hope to people the world had thrown away. But just as she reached the top, her life was cut short under suspicious circumstances, and her brilliance was erased. So grab your tea and your markers, because we're going to talk about the queen of chemistry you never learned about in school and why that's a whole crime in itself. Alice was born in Seattle in 1892, and listen, she came from a family that did not play. Her grandfather, J.P. Ball, was one of the first Black men in America to master this type of photography. I'm going to put it on the screen because I cannot pronounce that. Growing up around chemicals and lab equipment, well, that was just a normal day for Alice. By the time she graduated high school, she was already running laps around everybody. She earned 2 bachelor degrees from the University of Washington in just 4 years, and that was pharmaceutical chemistry and pharmacy. And before she even started grad school, she co-published a research article in one of the most prestigious chemistry journals in the country. Then, in 1915, at 23 years old, she became the first woman and the first African American to earn a master's degree from the College of Hawaii. And they didn't just give her the degree and send her home, they hired her as the university's first Black female chemistry instructor at 23. To understand why Alice's work mattered, you needed to know what leprosy, now called Hansen's disease, was doing to people back then. This wasn't just a sickness, it was a death sentence wrapped in shame. If you got diagnosed, armed officials would literally show up at your house and take you away. No trial, no appeal, you were banished. There was a specific place, and I'm going to list in the video here. That place was surrounded by 2,000-foot cliffs and the Pacific Ocean. Families were torn apart. Parents couldn't hug their kids goodbye, and most people, the only way they left that place was in a coffin. Doctors tried everything: mercury, arsenic, even x-rays. The only thing that kind of worked was a chamogra oil, but it was a nightmare. It tasted so bad that people would vomit, and if you tried to inject it, it caused abscesses under the skin that felt like fire. Nobody could figure out how to make it work until Alice. A doctor named Harry Hollmann saw Alice's brilliance and asked for her help. He needed someone who could make that oil injectable without turning patients' bodies into war zones. So of course, Alice got to work while teaching full-time, mind you, and after a series of incredibly complex chemical experiments, she did it. So what I got out of all of this, after reading it, translating it, and trying to still wrap my head around it, the medicine could be injected and actually work without destroying your skin. This became the Ball method, and it was the first real treatment for leprosy the world had ever seen. People who were supposed to die in exile started getting better. They were going home, and Alice was the one who did that. But here's where it gets dark. In 1916, Alice was teaching a chemistry class when she allegedly suffered chlorine gas poisoning during a lab demonstration. She got sick, like really sick, and she had to move back to Seattle. On New Year's Eve in 1916, she died. She was only 24 years old. Her death certificate says tuberculosis, but the chlorine gas story sounds really suspicious. Her records were altered, and to this day, nobody really knows what happened. And because she died before she could publish her research, a white man named Arthur Dean, the president of the college, tweaked it slightly and published it as the Dean method. He mass-produced the treatment, took all the credit, and made sure Alice's name stayed buried. For almost 90 years, her story was hidden. But you can't hide brilliance forever. Dr. Hollmann, the doctor who worked with Alice, published a paper in 1922 calling out the theft and officially naming it the Ball method. It wasn't until the 1970s and 90s that historians finally dug through their archives and proved what we already knew. Alice Ball was the real genius. She also has a bronze plaque at the University of Hawaii, which honors her. Alice was a 24-year-old Black woman who did what the so-called experts couldn't do for centuries. She gave people their lives back, and today we're making sure her name never gets erased again. All of the sources, her thesis, and the documents proving that she was the one are linked in the description below. Like this video and subscribe so you don't miss the next day. Stay brilliant, family.